Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Shevolving Life. It's me, Samantha, and I'm so happy to have you here with us. I am going to just remind everybody, if you're new, if this is your first time watching this show, this show is all about bringing space, giving you a space and reminding you of your light, reminding you of your power, reminding you of the well being that's already inside of you. All we need to do is set aside time to practically connect to it regularly. So, having a practice of regularly connecting to the well being that's already there. We live in such busy sort of world, and our schedules are often overscheduled. And so, Shevolving Life is about taking a beat, yeah, and being more conscious about what we expose ourselves to, what we put in our bodies, what type of media we consume, what type of books we read and magazines we read, where we live, the people we choose to be around, different things like that, that all contribute to your well being. So that's what Shevolving Life is about. And along the way, it gets hard sometimes because, we have built these lives, right? We've connected with these people. We have chosen different things that, maybe have felt good at the time or served us at one point or the other. But sometimes it's hard to establish new routines and to let go and to surrender and to try something new. So that's why it's so important for us to have a community that helps sort of gives us some energy, some good vibes, sending us love and light to encourage us to live our best lives and pursue the best versions of ourselves, which is there. It's already there. So on this episode, we are going to talk about this book called Raising Free People. And so I wanted to talk about just the concept on the show, because oftentimes I get in conversations with other parents, other moms, about sort of conscious parenting and what it means to raise free people and take more of a liberatory stance on parenthood and things in that of that nature. So what I wanted to do is just talk about, give some definitions, and also just talk about how we can be more conscious in our parenting. How can we be more free? How can we be more liberated in how we show up in the world? So first off, I want to talk about this idea of not being free. I know it's kind of crazy, but if you just take a minute and think about how you grew up, oftentimes a lot of us grew up in an era where sort of a more authoritarian type of style was the go-to for parenting. Children still had a bit of this idea of you should be seen and not heard type of feel, and it's my way or the highway, and as long as you're up under my roof, this, that, and the other is going to happen as the rules. And it's not that the rules themselves were the problem. It's just more of this over, I would say, more of a domineering posture, where oftentimes we felt disempowered. We felt like we couldn't speak up, speak our truth, speak our mind. I mean, for some of us, that could have ended up with a slap in the face. Let's be real about it. So, we didn't necessarily grow up that way. However, now that we are parents, we see value in validating these little humans and wanting them to have thoughts and express them, wanting them to be autonomous beings and feel that they are empowered to make choices for themselves and to listen to their bodies and to explore and be curious about their own desires and their own sort of interests. So that's this idea of raising free people. Funny story. During the pandemic, I'm married to an educational geek. And so during the pandemic, when everything basically fell apart, school was also on the chopping block as far as the way we do schooling. And, when the girls came home, when the world shut down, and it was like, okay, parents, now you teach your kids. And for me, I was like, nah, I got a husband who used to be a teacher, so he gonna handle it. But even him, because he's no longer a teacher anymore, even he was like, no, this is not how I want to do school with the girls. This virtual learning is really about sort of a lot of just memorization, and the content was just something that we didn't feel like was very stimulating to the type of people that we want them to be. It felt like they weren't really being exposed to like the stuff that we felt like really mattered in life as adults. Like, yeah, we want you to read. True, we want you to know how to count your money. So you need some math. But really wanting to raise humans that are socially conscious, know themselves, emotionally intelligent and resilient, leaders of themselves, and can just know their own light and shine it unapologetically. Like, those are the type of people that we want to raise. And yeah, they're getting a lot of that at home. But we were like, oh, if this could be like somehow in a school environment, like that is what's up. So that's sort of how we came across this school that we're a part of, called the Forest School. It's down here in Fayetteville, Georgia. And we love it. We love it. And the premise is all about students coming into their own. We often talk about students embarking on their own hero's journey, which is an archetype that all of us can relate to. Sort of overcoming challenges and facing obstacles and coming out on the other end successful and knowing ourselves better at the same time. And so each hero is embarking on their own journey of self-discovery. And, it sounds great, right? It sounds like, yay, this is what's up. This is cool. But it is tough, especially as a parent, because oftentimes we are having to unlearn and reparent ourselves when it comes to education, when it comes to our own expectations of what we feel like our kids should be learning, and modulating our own emotions through the process. And oftentimes, like the staff and the directors and all the people that are sort of charged with running the day-to-day of the school sort of get the brunt of a lot of the parents' frustrations when they themselves aren't regulated, because the school motto itself can be kind of triggering. So yeah, we can say we want this freedom, we want this liberation, but at the same time, it could be the very thing that disrupts sort of what we are used to and what we feel safe with and all this kind of stuff. And so I just thought it was important to sort of bring this up, because even though, your kid might be in a traditional school, or your kid may be in a self-directed type learning environment, such as like a Montessori model, it's super important to know yourself. It's super important to know your own triggers when you're here. And it's super important to set aside regular time to check in with yourself, and know when, okay, this too much, or know when, like, I need to step back. I'm gonna let somebody else handle this. I mean, I'm gonna, when you need to have boundaries, like, that is still okay. That is still okay. And so, this episode, I really want to, have you think about how is it that you can show up in a more liberatory way with your parenting, a more conscious way with your parenting. And also remember to love on yourself and give yourself grace and compassion that, like, this is all kind of new. This way of being is new, and it can be super triggering, especially when, like, the kid's behavior isn't something that you really know how to navigate, and you might default to some older way of, like, or previous way of engaging with your kids. Like, it's all right. We are all in this together, oftentimes stumbling through, but it's important to give ourselves grace and compassion. All right. So, if you are in a comfortable space, stay there. If you need to get into a comfortable position, do it. We're going to do just give ourselves space right here and right now to just relax and lean into the fact that we all are doing the best that we can. Just rest your eyes. And take a few breaths. And when you're ready, I want you to bring your hands to your heart center. Continue to breathe in and out. As you exhale, relax your shoulders. Relax the muscles in your face and your jaw. Relax your bottom half of your body. Be supported. Be supported in that chair that's designed to hold you. Let it go. Be supported in your bed, wherever you are, whatever seat that you've taken up. Fully embrace the support that's there for you. And as we all embark on our own hero's journey, discovering ourselves, learning about ourselves on this path of health and wellness, may grace and compassion be abundant. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can shake it out if that feels good. Thanks again for taking this time out to just check in with yourself, to connect with your heart, connect with your well-being. As always, click like, subscribe, share this message for anyone you feel would enjoy it. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.